and have no 4 and 5 stars, 0, and I've never had one.
Yep.
And you're like, if you guys are so successful and the tables have turned and Miami will never get back to where they were and UCF is the future, how come the kids aren't going to UCF?
Yeah.
They're still believing in Miami.
Yeah. Why aren't they in the running for Leonard Taylor?
Right.
Like why aren't they? Like, why weren't they in the running for Brashard Smith or any of these guys? And I said that to them, and they don't have a comeback.
No.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Oh, I can't stand them, man. It's just, it's like, I don't know. I had a tweet that was making fun of them pretty good the other day. You know, where I was making fun of UCF, FSU, and UF fans. You know, how they're all freaking out about our recruiting streak right now. And, you know, then I quote tweeted it and was like, you know, but really the saddest part of this whole thing is that UCF fans are just pumped to be lumped in there, you know? Like,
right. Like, yeah,
like their reason is that I included them in the same group as UF and FSU, even if they're getting laughed at, you know?
Right.
Like that's all they want in life, and it's adorable, but it's also like, get out of here, you know.
And if you click on their bios, they all like started their Twitter like November of 2017.
Yeah. You know
what I mean? They were 9-0, and they're like, I gotta make a Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they probably jumped ship from Florida that year because Florida, I'm pretty sure they sucked at that point, you know. So, I mean, they're essentially like the Golden State Warriors of college football, and a few of them stuck.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, to the point that you were making, I agree with you about Boise, but to Boise's credit, at least they did it for more than 1 year. Like UCF can't even say that.
They played really good football, and for a while there, I think, didn't Miami play a bowl game on their field?
Yeah, we did, on that blue turf. I can't remember who it was.
It was the MCP Computer Bowl against Nevada.
Yeah.
21-20.
Yep.
That's right. I wanted to go to that game so bad, dude. But I was like, Dad, would you drive me to Boise to see Miami play Nevada? And he's like, no, I won't. He's like, I don't like Miami, and I certainly don't like Boise, so we're not going there.
Like, their fans back then, I don't even know what year that was, but the newspaper was still a big deal. Yeah. And they wrote letters that got printed in the newspaper, and the Boise fans were like trashing the Miami fans, and they're like, we're spoiled to a better brand of football than Miami will ever know. Whoa.
Oh, jeez.
Calm down. Don't make me run off the list of Miami football achievements, like Don Shula, like the undefeated season, like what the Hurricanes have done, what other bowl games we've seen at the Orange Bowl that didn't involve Miami. Like, Miami has a claim to football city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know Green Bay and the Vikings and, you know, the old NFL towns and stuff think that they have it, but there's a tremendous amount of football history in Miami, and there's none in Boise.
Well, no. You can argue the greatest NFL team of all time and the greatest college football team of all time for a singular season. You can argue that both of those came out of Miami. So I think it's a very compelling argument for each as well.
You have the best NFL game ever played, the Dolphins and Chargers against Old Man Winslow.
Yep. Dan Fouts.
Yep. Then you've got Dan Marino, which people can argue he's the greatest passer of all time. Mm-hmm. And Don Shula, the winningest coach. There's just a laundry list of how people are like, there's the misconception that Miami sports fans or Miami football fans are weak because of the attendance, when they're just not. It's never going to happen in this town unless it's a big event. It has nothing to do. It's not like Notre Dame or, these other places where people gear up all week. Miami has their fan base and stuff, but it's not like other places where there's nothing else to do. Okay. So my whole position on it is you can't blame a person that goes to the game for the people that don't go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, if you guys go to all the games or whatever, I can't be a fan of another team and be like, dude, you guys fans suck. Nobody shows up. Well, you guys show up. You know what I mean? Like, you can rag the rest of the people that don't show up. And the longest NCAA winning streak. There's another one.
Yep.
Like, there's just so many.
Never either.
number one draft picks, all that stuff. And to have Boise like writing into the Sun Sentinel saying, yeah, you guys just don't understand how spoiled we are. We're, used to a better brand of football than Miami will ever know.
All you need to say is enjoy the Potato Bowl.
My last point on this, and it always pissed me off because Boise State was always considered like the BCS buster, that team, but Utah was so much better than them. Back me up, Jordan, please.
I'm sorry, Marshall.
Steve Smith, Alex Smith, they beat Alabama's ass in the Sugar Bowl, a team that
Urban Meyer was there.
So
first for 2004 against Pitt, he was there when they won the Fiesta Bowl.
Mm-hmm. But then a few years later, they went to the Sugar Bowl to play Bama, and Bama literally was ranked number 1 the week prior in the SEC championship game.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Lost to the Gators, and Utah just beat the hell out of them, and Boise State needed that trick play at the end. So that's just my view on that.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, honestly, I'm not much of a Utes guy, so you probably won't get the help from me that you want there, but
okay.
But you're making a good argument, though. I mean, Boise, TCU, Utah, that was a really great stretch for the Mountain West Football Conference, because they had some really, really talented teams to not be considered one of the big boys.
They play really sound football.
Yeah. And
Miami's never going to play like that.
Yeah.
Miami's always going to have 9 penalties and drops, but they're going to have a kickoff return and an interception return. Miami plays dirty football, whereas Utah, Boise, and TCU play smart football. It's just a different recruiting base and how they grow up playing. They're those teams are very quarterback, led teams with big time quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Miami has had trouble getting quarterbacks.
Well, and if you look at those programs too, I think this is a big difference is the superstars of those programs have mostly been coaches.
Right.
You have I can't think of his name. He just retired from Washington. Peterson, is it?
Yeah, Chris Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he put Boise on the map. You have, then is it Gary Patterson? Is that his name at TCU?
Yeah.
He put them. Yeah, Urban Meyer and Kyle Whittingham at Utah. It's they're I'm going along with what you're saying, Duck, is their brand of football is discipline and getting coached up, and you know what I mean? It's not the Miami brand of just speed and athleticism and just completely overwhelming the other team with your talent. They're very much the they're the type of teams that get coached up.
And Miami has to knock off the kids leaving early that aren't high draft picks.
Yes.
That is just a program killer, is losing these kids that should have came back another year, because that doesn't happen at Utah and Boise and TCU. They'll get 40 seniors on the team, and seniors playing against freshmen and sophomores. Talent only take you so far if you're getting pounded on by a grown man.
For sure. True. And plus, to make a joke that hits home locally is a lot of those Utah and BYU players are 26,
right,
because they go on 2-year church missions.
Right. And there's a big difference.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge difference. Remember,
imagine being 21 years old as a true freshman,
One year we played, it was under Golden. Was it Kansas or Kansas State?
Oh, God.
Just stomped Miami. Dude, everyone on the team was 26 years old.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're all fifth-year seniors. The quarterback was married.
Yeah.
Dude, Miami's always counting on, a freshman that runs a 4.2. Dude, it's just, football doesn't work like that.
Dude, I have a joke that just cracks me up every time, is that if you ever watch the BYU basketball team, 9 out of 10 players are balding and are married with children. And It is hilarious to me that it's a bunch of these skinny white kids with receding hairlines and barely anything left. And it's dude, how are these kids young enough to play college basketball?
The Canes have only had one of those dudes, Toretta. Dude, how you bald as a sophomore?
Yeah. And I'm just like, I know some of them living here in Salt Lake, and it's like, dude, you have 3 kids and no hairline, and like you're the star player for BYU. Like, what's going on? Like.
Oh, on a side note,
future sports.
On a little side note, I listened to like UFO radio to fall asleep at night, and they had a guest on like 1 or 2 nights ago that told the story of Strang. Do you know him?
No, I don't.
I might be getting the name wrong. The guy that took over after Joseph Smith?
Brigham Young?
Brigham Young.
Strang. Hold on.
So, I think I know what you're talking about. He didn't take over for Joseph Smith. I think he was like a splinter faction,
Yes. Yeah. He factioned off.
Yeah,
it's fascinating.
So is he the dude that went up to Michigan and like he broke off from the core of the Mormon church that eventually migrated to Utah, and I think he went up to Michigan. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. I was like, wow.
It is. That's actually, the history around the religion of Mormonism is actually very intriguing. I think people outside of Utah don't know it, and people inside Utah take it for granted.
Right.
But it's a fascinating period of American history. It really is.
Yeah, yeah.
And whether you're religious or not, it's kind of, it's really kind of the most, like, it's arguably the most successful American-born religion, and that's unique in itself, because we're such a young country. So
I just graduated from the BYU school, so.
Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Duck.
Yeah. And that BYU loss, that still stings.
Yeah, we were. There's actually a rumor that they're trying to get us on their schedule for this year, because their schedule imploded when the Pac-12 and Big Ten dropped them. All their non-conference games. So
right.
We were talking, how cool would it be to have a BYU Miami game here in Provo?
Definitely.
We'd have to get you to come out for that, man, and I'd grill you some good food and give you a good time.
Well, I just need the numbers to come down a little bit in South Florida. Yeah. Like, geez, I'm pretty much stay in. I try to walk, and now I've been walking midday in the heat, because if you try to go at 6 or 7 o'clock, there's too many people out.
Yeah.
And there's people with dogs and just wandering, and South Florida, of course, is probably one of the dumbest places on the planet. So people will walk right towards you or this and that, and I get like anxiety, and I'm like, now I have to walk at high noon when it's blazing out. Yep. Or if it rains, then it's a bonus. Then I walk straight up in the rain. No lightning, but if it's pouring rain, I walk because I'm guaranteed I won't see a soul.
Yep.
I
feel you, man. Well, so we're gonna let you go. We got some mailbag questions to get to.
Yeah.
We've gone over a little on time, but Duck, we love having you on the show, man. You're one of my favorite people, not only to talk to, but I just love your Twitter account, man. It's guaranteed laughs every day.
Thank you guys for having me on. Anytime.
Dude, and I wanted to say thank you for reaching out after my father passed away. That really, really meant a lot, and you're just a really, really awesome person. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Alrighty, see ya.
Yep.
All right, Duck.
Bye.
I love Duck, dude. He's a good guy.
He's on the Manny train.
Dude, that is huge because honestly, to me, after talking to him, I mean, I've probably talked to him a dozen times now. To me, Duck is one of the biggest Canes fans in the world. And I don't think most people would think that because, he kind of has like a grumpy old man approach to being a Miami fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, I mean, you talk to him and it just oozes out of him. Like, the guy is one of the biggest Miami fans in the world. And so the fact that Manny, after all that's happened, is impressing him, I think that's big. And I think that's a good sign for the future.
Oh, absolutely. And we saw that the first time he came on the show. Like,
It's so clear. I mean, he's just angry